What if today was your last day here on Earth? Have you thought about what happens to the life you're leaving behind for someone else to handle? In this episode of 6 Feet Away, the youngest president of the Tennessee Funeral Directors Association, Randy Nash, will pull back the curtain on pre-planning your life celebration. It's not all about the money, even though that's an important element. It's really all about your wishes. And the main wish that most people have is to not burden those they love. Did you know there are over 150 decisions that have to be made when you die? What are they? Well, there's some immediate needs, and Randy Nash has some answers, which you can also find at a download link at sumnerfuneral.com. But let's start with the simple stuff. What songs do you want at your funeral?
Go rest high on that mountain when the hills of hope start calling me, and there my home shall be eternal.
By and by, I'm going to see a king. By and by, going to see a king. What my done have done.
Oh, happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, it's a happy day. Oh, happy day. Yeah, it's a happy day. Oh, happy day. Oh, I'm so happy, Lord. Oh, happy day. I'm so happy, Lord. Oh, happy day.
How do I want my send-off? Because you're not around to say it, but everybody's got thoughts about, I don't want this, I do want that. And the only way to protect that, the only way is to pre-plan it. I think about all the Christmas presents that parents give their children. Mm-hmm. This is like the best gift you can give your children ahead of time so that when you're gone, it's like, hey, by the way, this is all taken care of.
Yeah, I am a firm believer in pre-planning and advanced planning. A lot of funeral homes in the industry focus on the funding aspect of it as far as paying for it in advance, which I think that there's nothing wrong with that at all, because one of the things that we do when we pre-fund in advance, we guarantee the price. So if you come in today and you pick out your services, your casket, your vault, your cremation, your urn, whatever you're doing, I guarantee that price as it is today indefinitely. And so when you pass away, let's say it's 30 years down the road, we hope, or longer, if I'm still alive, we will guarantee that price. Your family won't pay anything additional for the services or the merchandise because we guaranteed that. There's things like sales tax, death certificates, obituaries, and flowers, things that are purchased from a third party that we don't control the price of. But you can set money aside for those when you make those arrangements. So I'm definitely a firm believer in having some kind of permanent plan in place. Even if you just came in and picked out everything, or you wrote down what you wanted, brought it in, and said, here, put this in a file. So when my kids die, they're going to call Randy and say, what do we need to do? I had a lady one time that had brought in 2 envelopes, and one of them had all the pictures she wanted in, and she said the other one says, do not open till I die. So I opened it when she died, and it had money for her family to go and eat afterwards. She had like $200 of cash in there. I didn't know what was in it until I opened it. And I went to the son. I said, your mom put a note in here for y'all to go eat on this when you get done. And he said, well, I'm glad she did that. He said, she always told me she had an envelope with something in there. He said, I just kind of forgot about it. I think that sometimes, too, it puts your wishes to where your family knows, puts something on paper, answers some of those unknown questions. And we have a couple different tools. We have a pre-planning guide that you can take, and it's built for 2 people, or it can be for 1 person. And it, all the questions that we would need for death certificates, obituaries, where are these documents? What are these passwords? What's your debit card PIN number? What's your Facebook login? What is this information? So if something happens to you, your family has it, and they don't have to wonder and be lost with so many things besides the fact of losing you, but the other fact of everything they have to do to take care of, the business type things and all the other things that come about. And so pre-planning is a great thing to do, and it can be done over the phone. It can be done in person. It can be done in your home. It can be done at Starbucks. It can be done at a restaurant. It can be done at your favorite bar. I don't care where it is. As long as you sit down and do it. We even have a thing where you can, on our website, and fill out a pre-planning form, and it comes straight to me, and we can call and talk about it over the phone. And if you say, I want to fill this form out, and you put it in a file, we'll do that. Just so that it starts that conversation and gets something on paper that if you pass away, your family says, I don't know what mom and dad says. Well, I can say, look, this is what they gave me. This is what you want to do, we'll do it. 9 times out of, let's say 9.5 times out of 10, families follow the wishes of their loved one to a T. Now, there may be a change here or there. Most of the time, they respect the wishes of their family, and they respect them because they've made them known. There's no second guessing what their decision they're making. There's no what ifs. They know what they wanted. I encourage my family to do it. I not personally. Everybody always asks me, "What are you doing for yourself?" I don't have any pre-planning for myself. I have a good friend of mine that's a funeral director. He knows. He and I have talked about what each other wanted if something happened to one of us. My wife knows if something happens to me. She calls him, and he knows what to do, and he knows. He knows what I would want done, and she said she didn't really want to know, so that's okay. She doesn't want to know, that's okay, but he knows, and so she can call him and he can tell her what to do. Now, hopefully, if he's not alive when I pass away, I guess I'll pick somebody else and tell them. But we've done some pre-arrangements with people this week. I've had people as young as 20 and 30 years old come and do it just because they have the money set aside and they want to have it there for the family. You have people that have terminal illnesses that want to do that, or something. People that just, if anything was happening to them, they don't want their family to worry about it, regardless of their age or anything like that. I think that when people do estate planning and financial planning for the future, when they do wills and powers of attorney, definitely a part of that plan should be your funeral planning. I think it's a huge part of that whole deal. And I mean, when they say when someone passes away, years ago there was a statistic that said there was 125 decisions that has to be made when someone dies. I would say that that's definitely more than that now, probably. I don't know if it's doubled, but let's say there's between 100 and 200 decisions that had to be made when someone passes away, regardless of how large or how small they are. They're a decision you have to make. And so if you could make half of those for your family by pre-planning, then I think that's a win-win for everybody.
It's not morbid or even somber to pre-plan your funeral. It's actually, think of it like a going-away party for those you love. If it's hard to tell those people in your life, you still need to tell someone. Randy Nash at Sumner Funeral and Cremation can start your file today with simple questions and answers, and you can even start everything online. Maybe you want to leave an envelope of dining out money for your family. Think of it as your last chance to say, I love you. How do you want to say it? Randy Nash is at Sumner Funeral and Cremation in Gallatin, Tennessee, and can be reached at sumnerfuneral.com or 615-452-9059.